So you come from a tech background, correct?
Yes.
What lessons from the tech world, where disruption is something that is always taking place, what lessons from the tech world can publishers glom onto these days?
Well, in the publishing space right now, they're going through what I would call an inflection point, a platform shift. And that's happened many times, particularly in the PC industry. If you look at Windows in the early 80s, if you look at the transformation to the internet in the 90s, each time there are companies that became losers and new winners and new entrants came into that marketplace. Very similar in the publishing industry today.
Should publishers cannibalize themselves? And what factors are involved in making that kind of decision?
Right. The publishing industry, big companies, lots of resources, medium-sized companies, maybe not so much technology, and the disruption of the iPad and all the tablet platforms means that they have to find new revenue sources. We talk about great growth in those spaces. Now they're 15, 20% of the revenue. So how is that revenue shift going to take place is a big factor in deciding whether they should cannibalize themselves. That means just go right for the e-publishing side of things and abandon print. I think most companies will have a blended approach, and that's really what the
right. Just going digital is a pretty big leap.
Boy, that's a big leap, and maybe a smaller company could afford to do that, but the big companies have large revenue sources, fairly static customer base, and so it would be crazy to just abandon that.
Sure. So kind of related to that, do you feel that this period that publishers are in right now requires drastic action?
The amount of technology that's being thrown at them is like a wave, almost a tsunami coming at them, and they're standing on the beach. And the question is, do they dive right into the water and grab onto it, or they let it wash over that? So how they approach it, be personally driven, the company personalities, the characteristics. I think skunk works and bringing in talent that has a technology bent to apply to the publishing is the way most companies will go.
So last question for you. Should publishers become tech companies, or should they just become tech-savvy companies?
Well, they're being brought in kicking and screaming into the technology
I say it
world.
Like they have a choice, right? But
not much of a choice. I think that they have to have some knowledge of how technology decisions are made, so to bring people in to help them coach through that. The first couple of times they do it on their own would be expensive and time-consuming, so they can shorten the loop, shorten the decision cycle by bringing in people that have that experience. And like we said before, investing in skunk works or in other partnerships with companies that are technology-based would be helpful.
Great. Well, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it.